Hello guys, welcome back to another lovely trading video. In this one we're going to be doing some stock analysis on Tesla. We will also have one later today on Abivai. This is because Driven Latino, comment on screen now, wanted to see these analysed, so we're going to go through and do them both today. So firstly, as always, we go onto the daily chart, clean chart, and see is there any gaps to be filled, and off the bat we can see a few. Firstly, we got one at around 407 to 430. Obviously that's quite a way off, so we won't really be using that as a price target or anything, because even though most gaps do get filled, it's too far of a target away, and it would probably, if this does get filled, would be something more in a market correction. Is there any others? We did have a gap here, as you can see, but that was filled, and again all these kind of gaps over here looks like they've all been filled. So having a quick glance, there's nothing we can see that needs to be filled. Again, we had one created here, but again that's been filled. So always good to be keeping an eye out, because you'll see these, most of them do get filled quite quickly. For example, this one that happened most recently did a gap from 760 to 730, and then you'll see got gaps within 4 days. So they're a good thing to keep an eye out, even if they're not currently there when we're doing the analysis video. You can always check out, for example, on Monday if it opens up and has gapped up or down, most likely that gap will get filled quickly, so usually a good area to be looking out for. So now we'll go on to the standard deviation charts, and we can see some price levels using this instead, and also if the stock's kind of considered more overbought right now or oversold. So as we can see right now on the 4 hour, Tesla does actually look more overbought. The reason we say this is because it's currently between the first and second deviation onto the upside, which currently means it's a bit more out of the data. So by that I mean 68% of the data should be within these kind of golden bands, and 95% of data should be within these blue bands. So when you start seeing a stock break out of this kind of 68%, you expect it to maybe stay outside of this area for a bit of time, but you expect it to come straight back into the golden deviations within some time. So that's one thing we will be looking at in Tesla, because looking at that chart only, it looks like it will be coming back down to below kind of the 740 level, so just keep that in mind. But then if we go over to the daily chart, as you'll be able to see, here we are kind of considered fair value. We're very close to the statistical mean and still within the golden deviation. So on the daily chart, we're not really getting any signs of where it's going to go. Right now it's at fair value, could go up, could go down, no indication really. If it does go down, we got a buy target of around 630, and if it goes up, we got kind of a short area and or lock-in profit area at around 860. So for this analysis, we're going to have to go more off the 4 hour, because that's the only one where Tesla's kind of moved out of the statistical mean and kind of first deviation area. So looking only at the 4 hour chart, we can start seeing that it's currently at 775 cents. So I mean $700.75. What am I even saying here? $775, sorry about that. So now we expect it to either go up to 116 or pull back to 743. Right now we can't really say which way it's going to go. If I had to guess, I would say back to the 740. Why do I say that? Looking at it, it's come into this half deviation. At half deviations, you shouldn't really get too much of a struggle. It should maybe tap it, retest, and break through if it's going to go up, or test it, fail, or test, retest, and fail. You usually don't see them consolidate on the kind of half deviation, and if you do, it's usually more of an indication that not enough buyers are stepping in. So over time, more sellers will come in and most likely push it back down to our first target, which in this case would be around 743. So right now, I would say our kind of key targets on Tesla would be 743 and 815, around that kind of area. And obviously we won't be looking to get long properly at this 743. That would provide more of a bounce level, but not something you probably want to be investing long, or maybe even swing trading long. More of a day trading area, I personally would say. So where else can we kind of see Tesla going, and kind of what are the targets? For right now, the only targets we can really give is just where the deviations are. So statistical mean, always a key area to be looking out for, because stocks usually move quite strongly as it comes into that level, either pull back strong or break through strong. So as you'll see, I mean, if you go back to any of these, you'll see tests, retest, and that absolutely skyrockets through. You'll see it again, tests, retest, breaks through heavily. That seems to be a common pattern you see with statistical mean, so it's definitely a key level to be looking on. And on the daily, when it's kind of consolidating on that statistical mean, which can sometimes happen, then you kind of don't want to, you kind of more just want to ignore that level and not trade off it, and you want it to kind of break off to a level before trading it. So in this case, obviously broke down to kind of either statistical mean on the 4 hour or up to kind of around 816, which is a second deviation of the 4 hour. Before starting to trade it in that area, it's kind of just quite a lot of risk for not much reward. So kind of key targets, I'll just place them on screen. Again, you kind of do what you want with them if you want to be taking shorts here. Small bounces, kind of however you trade, you can use these levels to your advantage. Just these are levels that I would personally be looking at for bounces, pullbacks, and all that kind of stuff. So those are the areas I'll leave on screen, and that's it for the tester breakdown. So I hope you enjoyed. Hope you see you next one, and that's it. Peace.